In people's everyday lives, protein plays an essential part. Soybeans are native to China. The Chinese are adept at extracting protein from soybeans. And the invention of tofu further expands their culinary choices. In Europe, the transformation of milk to cheese provides people with greater nutrition and richer flavors. Tofu and cheese are the results of human exploration and curiosity. Two different approaches, but with the same aim. Huang Daiping from Zhong County, Chongqing, runs an esteemed tofu factory. During the harvest season, his prime concern is the quality of the beans.
这个大的还是可以，包子很好。这个大的可以包嘛。这个蛋白质含量比较高，能够达到45%到48%。这个来做豆腐乳是最合适的、最好的噻。
Located in southwestern China, Chongqing's Zhong County enjoys warm winters and hot and wet summers, which are ideal for cultivating soybeans. Historically, tofu was dubbed the meat of the fields. Today, soy-based food is the only viable alternative to animal-based proteins on the market. The first step in making tofu is to soak the soybeans. Once soaked and blended with water, the soy milk will be boiled once the residue has been filtered out.
第三道就是我们的分离点卤。
Adding salt coagulants to the boiled soy milk helps the protein and calcium to combine into solid curds. Tofu blocks start to appear. Once the water has been squeezed out, the fresh tofu is ready to serve. China is the home of soybeans, especially the high-protein yellow soybeans. As early as the Western Han Dynasty, 1900 years ago, Chinese people were making tofu out of beans. Nowadays, tofu is widely made by people all over China. The invention of tofu has significantly increased the people's intake of protein. The temperate regions of Europe experience rain throughout the year and relatively less sunshine due to its oceanic climate, which is perfect for the growth of quality forages and natural pastures for its advanced dairy industry. People here actually use a similar process to convert the milk into another high-protein product, cheese. Faraz is a cheese enthusiast. 25 years ago, he visited Dali for the first time. Now he's running a cheese factory here. From time to time, he visits local dairy farmers for quality control.
So the Dali climate in general, it has a high altitude, so it's a cooler climate, and this produces good quality grass, so cows are able to produce good quality milk because of the climate conditions.
The Bai people in Dali are good at converting milk into milk fan, which has a soft and subtle milky taste after it's been air-dried.
We also realized that there is the Yunnan Rubin Nailao and the Rushang. So these are two local kinds of cheeses that local people enjoy, and we wanted to introduce Western style cheeses also to the local population.
Fast heat the milk to 85 degrees Celsius for pasteurization. Add in fermentation ingredients to make the milk product lactic acid. With the help of enzyme, the milk is separated into curds and whey. Squeeze out the remaining water for the end product, cheese.
With every good thing, you need to have a lot of patience. So for cheese making, according to the different kinds of cheese, you need to follow the steps without shortcuts. Each step of the way, you have to wait a certain time for the curds to coagulate, for the temperature to be right.
For millennia, Europeans have been making cheese using this very method. In the past, when refrigeration technology and resources were not available, people were able to store protein in this way for a longer period of time. Even further back, Chinese nomads had already mastered the skill of fermenting. Tao Gao, an intangible inheritor of Cha Gan Yi Di, a dairy product in Inner Mongolia, has been making milk tofu for more than 30 years. This is a dairy production technique that has been passed down over the generations. People living on the grasslands can't live without milk tea and milk tofu for their vitamins and minerals, for vegetables and fruits are not easily accessible. Different climatic conditions create different kinds of microorganisms, and hence different flavors of dairy products in different regions. It is estimated that there are over 20,000 types of cheese in the world, and now a whole new journey begins when microorganisms meet tofu. Located in the heart of the Three Gorges Dam area, Zhong County is where the Yangtze water systems meet up. The warm and moist environment creates a diverse microorganism system. In this sealed jar, here is soil from Zhong County dating back 200 years that perfectly stores the original microbes. Every year during the Spring Festival, Huang Daiping will cut open the wax and put the newly made tofu into the soil to ferment.
在历史上，我们家家户户都会做这个中浙服务。现在我们使用的这个配方，就是经过1000多年传承下来的。已经长出来了。
Mucor mold has grown on the tofu after 15 days.
我们提取了上面孢子最硕大的一颗，拿来进行培养，然后再进行扩大培养，然后再进行工业化生产。
Once fermented, the inner structure of the tofu has significantly changed. The protein in the tofu has now degraded into peptides and amino acids. Salt is added and it is marinated in a high-alcohol baijiu. It is then sealed up for another round of fermentation. After a series of processes, the flavor of the tofu becomes salty and more sophisticated. Protein in the tofu can be stored for a longer period of time, just like with cheese. With centuries of trade and cultural exchanges between East and West, the Chinese fermented bean curd has been called Chinese cheese in the West. Just as mapo tofu is a popular Chinese dish in the West, cheese has also gained its own popularity on Chinese tables.
This is 嫩豆腐吗？要是做麻婆豆腐，那个是最适合。这个是吧？ 这个是什么豆做的？黄豆是吧？
Sasha from Germany has been living in China for 16 years. Working in the catering industry, Sasha has a huge interest in tofu.
来一个吧。很喜欢豆腐，比如说麻婆豆腐或者凉拌豆腐都很好吃的。今天正好是元宵，然后约了几个朋友，然后给他们做一个麻婆豆腐。
Similar to cheese, tofu is popular in Europe for its low fat, low calories, low cholesterol, and rich dietary fiber.
现在很多在德国就是变得特别普遍，是用豆腐做成就是特别传统的一些德国的菜，譬如说有很多豆腐肠，在德国所有的那些肉的东西都有一个豆腐的版本。
For a cooking enthusiast like Sasha, his understanding of tofu is just like that of a professional Chinese chef.
它跟什么都能搭，就是在汤里面煎的、炒的、炸的都可以，基本上是一片空白。我想填什么，我就可以加什么东西。
While tofu is celebrated for its flexibility and versatility in Europe, cheese is welcomed in China for its rich flavor and texture.
味道很正宗。
Liu Yang from Hebei province owns a cheese factory in Beijing. First thing every morning, he checks on his cheese.
奶酪刚做出来的时候，它是一个白白嫩嫩的、胖胖的那个样子哈，就好像刚出生的样子。然后再过了一段时间呢，它就开始发酵，长出毛发，然后这个时候呢，它就开始有味道了。它后期它的熟成会变得味道逐渐的变重，表面的这些微生物啊、霉菌啊，它们也有一个衰老的过程，真的是像人的一个生命周期一样。
At an earlier age, Liu Yang studied in France. What attracted him most wasn't just the beautiful scenery, but the local traditional food, cheese.
就是奶酪在全世界有2万种以上，然后在法国这一个国家呢，就有超过1000多种奶酪。然后后来去法国上学的时候，就是做奶酪的那种感觉呢，又专注又放松。我觉得当时对我来说最大的收益就是。 极大的缓解我的这个学业的压力。
After going back to China, Liu Yang opened up a French-style cheese factory in Beijing. Using traditional French production techniques to produce handmade cheese.
因为奶酪这个东西，它是这个地方的温度、湿度、气候。 水土的一个综合因素的一个体现。后边我们做了一些非常中国元素的奶酪，比如说女儿红奶酪、陈皮奶酪、北京蓝蓝纹奶酪。
Cheese has taken root in China, developing a unique Chinese flavor and attracting Chinese taste buds that are willing to try out new things.
里边成熟度100%。
这个模糊的清香味儿，进口，特别浓郁。
坚果的味道，森林泥土土壤的那种味道。
前3年吧，我大概90%的客人是外国人，但是呢，在第4年之后，我发现我的中国客户逐渐的多起来了，有更多的本地的食客越来越关心食物的多样性，他们就开始找寻不一样的味道。
Today, Liu Yang's cheese factory has a steady stream of orders, and cheese sales have developed from offline to online and are sold to all parts of the country over the internet. From north to south and east to west, people have toiled for protein. By following nature, we have gained inspiration for food preservation. The meeting of tofu and cheese is an epitome of humanity. We are all different, yet so similar.